Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're analyzing a performance protocol that is, well, it's not built for comfort.
Not at all. It's built for absolute control.
Exactly. And in what you can only really describe as a hostile environment. We're looking at a system engineered for rotational night shift workers.
And not just any night shift workers. These are people facing a brutal 4-hour daily commute on top of everything else.
Right. So our mission for this deep dive is clear. The source material is very explicit that this is not about coping with fatigue. Coping is passive.
Coping is what everyone else does. This is a template for dominating within those constraints.
And that requires a pretty hard immediate shift in how you see things, doesn't it? It starts by redefining time itself.
The core idea here is the concept of a normal day.
It's gone.
You have to discard it completely. You move to what the system's architects call the mission clock, and that becomes your new reality.
The mission clock. So this is the structure that gives you stability when the outside world offers absolutely none.
It's anchored by 3 fixed points, 3 non-negotiables that give your chaotic schedule some form. And these are the only things you can truly control.
Okay, what are they?
Your fixed wake time, your fixed work start, and your precise sleep window. If you honor those 3 points, you create an internal predictability the body can actually rely on.
Predictability overriding comfort.
Yeah.
That's the mantra here. But, when you're rotating shifts, keeping those anchors fixed must take an incredible amount of discipline. So what are the rules that can't ever change, no matter what your shift looks like?
We have to start with the absolutes, the biological recovery. The sources mandate you budget a minimum of 7 hours in bed.
Not 7 hours of sleep, but 7 hours dedicated to the attempt.
The goal is to manufacture high-quality rest, often in broad daylight, so you have to neutralize the environment.
So we're talking about the standard things, right? Blackout curtains, an eye mask, necessary stuff, but pretty expected. Where does the protocol get really strict?
The phone. This is the single most critical point in the whole system. The rule is absolute. The phone must be outside the bedroom. No negotiation, no exceptions. The reason is twofold. One is the obvious blue light exposure, but honestly, the more important part is the psychological tether. That device is a portal to stimulation, to alerts, to dopamine. You're not just blocking light, you're blocking the mental activation that prevents your brain from shutting down.
That makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
It's about simplifying your environment to the extreme. So once that boundary is set, you have the pre-sleep ritual.
A consistent wind down. It's a cue for the body that the day is over no matter what the clock says.
And this ritual is always the same relative to your sleep
Oh, yeah.
window.
It's minimal, but it's mandatory. A warm shower, a light stretch to release tension, and then the journaling.
Tell me about the journaling. The source specifies exactly 1 page. For someone who is just coming off a high-stress shift, why just 1 page?
Because the goal isn't catharsis, it's clarity. Your nervous system is still firing, your brain is trying to solve problems. Journaling 1 page forces you to just download the main cognitive burdens.
The things that would keep you up at night.
Exactly. You get them onto the paper quickly. Limiting it to 1 page stops it from becoming a new complex task that keeps you alert. It's a rapid mental offload. That's it.
Okay, let's switch to fueling. This kind of schedule demands a lot of energy, and the nutrition standards seem just as strict.
They are. Protein at every meal, the same breakfast and lunch equivalents every day for consistency. But the timing rules are what really separate this for night workers.
Right, because your body's digestive cycle is completely out of whack.
You're fighting it constantly. So the last heavy meal has to be 3 or more hours before your sleep window. No exceptions.
Gives your body time to process.
Right, so energy isn't being diverted to digestion when it should be going to recovery. But the rule that gets the most pushback is the caffeine cutoff.
Which is?
No caffeine within 8 hours of sleep.
8 hours. Wow. Most night shift workers I know are drinking coffee right up until the end of their shift.
And that's the problem. You need to build a massive buffer. See, caffeine blocks adenosine receptors. Adenosine is what builds up in your brain and signals that it's time to sleep.
Sleep pressure.
Yes. If you're blocking that chemical right up until bedtime, you might crash, but you won't get deep restorative rest. The 8-hour rule ensures maximum sleep pressure when your head hits the pillow.
That is a brutal rule, but I see why it's necessary. Let's move on to performance levers, specifically training. The protocol is demanding 5 times a week strength training, 2 long walks.
And a crucial directive on timing. Training must happen after you wake up, never before work.
Why is that timing so critical to this mission clock idea?
It's all about sending the right signal. When you wake up, even if it's 1 in the afternoon and you immediately hit it with intense physical activity, You are sending a powerful signal to your central nervous system.
This is the morning.
This is the start of the high output part of my cycle.
Exactly.
It helps cement the new morning in your brain and body.
But let's be realistic here. You've got an 8-hour shift, 4 hours of commute, 7 hours in bed. That doesn't leave much wiggle room. How do you find the energy for 5 strength sessions plus 2 90-minute walks?
That's the psychological hurdle the whole protocol is designed to eliminate, because the mission clock removes decision fatigue. You're not deciding if you'll train, it's just what you do.
It's an operational reality.
Just like brushing your teeth. The split itself is completely shift-proof. Day 1 is upper body, day 2 is lower, then a long walk, and so on. The sequence is fixed. You don't negotiate.
And the directive is just no missed sessions.
No missed sessions.
Okay, let's walk through an example. Shift A, you work 5 p.m. to 2:30 a.m. You wake up at 12:30 p.m., alarm goes off. What are the first 90 minutes?
Immediate activation. Within 5 minutes, cold water on the face, then 10 minutes of stillness, maybe a leg stretch, and then you write down 3 key outcomes for the day.
Measurable outcomes.
By 1 p.m., you should be moving into your training block.
And after training and fueling, there's another piece here, the deep work block.
A mandatory 90-minute block. This isn't arbitrary. 90 minutes aligns with our natural cognitive cycles, the ultradian rhythms.
So you're leveraging your peak focus, your actual morning energy.
You're using it for your own goals before the commute and the job drain you. It's a massive return on investment. You're guaranteeing progress on what matters to you every single day.
Which brings us to the biggest challenge of all, the 4-hour daily commute. 4 hours can either destroy you or, as the protocol frames it, it can build you.
Right. It reframes this from dead time to a strategic commute upgrade. It becomes mental conditioning.
This is where you find the advantage. Most people fill that time with noise, with distraction.
Total distraction. This protocol demands the opposite. The rule is strict. No social media, no news feeds, no low-value entertainment. Period. You rotate between 2 things.
Okay.
Activity 1 is high-value audiobooks. The sources are specific: biography, strategy, deep psychology, compounding knowledge. Activity 2 is silence.
Silence. For a 2-hour drive, that sounds incredibly difficult.
It is, and that's the point. You have to guard your mental focus. That silence is the friction that forces introspection, that forces mental processing.
So it's about letting the noise of the day settle, instead of just piling more noise on top of it.
Exactly. You're managing your information load consciously. It lets your brain actually reset.
So let's apply this. Commute home from shift A. It's what, 2:30 a.m. to 4:30 a.m. You're exhausted, driving in the dark. The mandate is still audiobook or silence. How do you make sure you arrive home calmer?
This is where you deploy the night shift mental armor. Tools to mitigate the physiological damage.
Armor. I like it.
First, the moment you leave the building, sunglasses go on.
Even at 2:30 in the morning.
It's critical. You have to block that early morning light exposure. Even a little bit of it can crush your melatonin production and make daytime sleep almost impossible.
Okay, what's the second piece of armor?
Supplementation. Specifically, magnesium glycinate before sleep. This form is chosen because it effectively crosses the blood-brain barrier and quiets the nervous system.
So it's not a sedative. It's about supporting quality sleep.
It's about dampening the neural activity that's keeping you wired. It helps you get that restorative sleep you desperately need.
Okay, so we have the mission clock, the training, the commute conditioning, the armor. After 30 days of this intense adherence, what's the psychological payoff? What does the protocol promise?
This is the most profound part. It's not just about being less tired, it's about a complete internal transformation. And the sources track this shift very precisely.
So by day 10, what's the first big win?
The negotiation stops. That constant inner dialogue of, should I skip this? Can I hit snooze? It just ends. The system is non-negotiable.
You eliminate decision fatigue.
And then by day 20, you move from just sticking to it to actually integrating it. Trust in the system, and maybe more importantly, trust in yourself, is regained.
You realize you can operate at this level.
Exactly. It restores a sense of agency that these chaotic schedules just steal from you.
And the final piece, the external transformation by day 30. This is the proof, right? It's not just something you feel.
No, people see it. The sources emphasize this. Your physical presence changes. Your posture improves. Eye contact gets sharper. Your speech is more deliberate.
That's the moment when people around you sense, not just hustle, but genuine control.
Unshakable control. And that's the final destination. The user isn't just coping with a bad schedule anymore. They are actively engineering a high-performance reality. They are dominating within their constraints.
A powerful idea. So to recap, The mission clock principles. Fixed wake times, predictability over comfort, training after waking, and turning a commute into mental conditioning.
So the challenge for you, the listener, is not to try and do all this at once. That's a recipe for failure. Just choose your first point of attack.
Yeah.
One non-negotiable anchor. Is it the phone out of the room, the strict 8-hour caffeine rule, the mandatory silence on your drive? Pick one thing you can implement immediately to start reclaiming control of your own mission clock.
And for anyone who does implement this 30-day template and is ready for that next level, the protocol offers clear options for where to go next.
You need structure for the structure.
The sources lay out a few paths for the next deep dive. Designing a meal plan specifically for night work, building a supplement stack for long-term circadian protection, or, and this seems critical, developing a post-30-day transition plan so you don't crash and burn. Choose your next deep dive wisely.